Good morning, everybody. This is Travis Lima, and I am here to talk to you a little bit about content marketing for your membership site. So welcome to Travis's Tip of the Day, episode number 32. We're going to be talking a little bit more about content marketing. So as you can see over here on my screen, I have a blog post that was recently published, and all of the links on the particular blog post, I have 3 of them. They should be linked down in the video description of this. If you're watching this on, say, Twitter or Facebook, and the links are not there, then just head over to our YouTube page of this video, and they should be in that link. But I think they should be at least in Facebook. We'll see about Twitter. Anyway, so content marketing. What is content marketing, and why am I talking about it? So content marketing is basically when you create content and that in turn generates some sort of value for a particular user, and that in turn again actually creates a bit of awareness, brand authority, even views, engagement, that kind of thing. So it's a way of actually it's a very popular way of actually generating engagement and marketing awareness to your audience. And you can do it in a relatively cheap way. Now, there are some pros and cons to content marketing, and I hope to cover a few of them. So we actually use content marketing quite a bit at Paid Memberships Pro. Even if you think of these videos, this is a form of content marketing where, we are creating videos on a consistent daily basis, giving you information, and hopefully that builds a positive kind of awareness, if you will, brand awareness between you and us, Paid Memberships Pro. So the idea with content marketing in a nutshell is offering value. So I hope to offer you value on a daily basis for nothing in return, really. And the idea is, you are either going to build up some sort of respect for Paid Memberships Pro, and perhaps down the road when you need a membership plugin and you need a paid feature of a particular plugin, that you would consider Paid Memberships Pro, because you and I have built up some sort of relationship. You know me, the people behind Paid Memberships Pro, you know what we're about because you can actually go and read what we're about on a daily basis. And with all of that being said, we are trying to also give you tools to make a correct decision. So I hope that, gives you a bit of a idea. And I mentioned a couple of things there, but I think very important when you are talking about content marketing, you want to be sure that you offer value to your customer. That's like a huge one. If I come on here on a daily basis and pitch my greatest website to you, and I pitch sales, and you need to go ahead and buy this and buy that, it's going to get very old very quickly. So it's important to offer value to customers and not necessarily expect anything in return. It would be great for everyone who watches our videos to go out and buy, but that's not how content marketing works, and it's not what should be in the forefront of your mind. Very important, value first. Think about your end user. Think about the person reading your blog post, watching your videos. Try and think about what they want or what they would want to see in order, for there to be a positive kind of connotation between you and the user. So in a nutshell, I've given you a little bit of a rundown on what content marketing is. And Unsee over here has written 3 blog posts on our site. And like I said, the link should be down below. We have a kind of like a guide to getting started with content marketing that pertains to membership sites. So the first one is called Quality versus Quantity: Content Marketing Strategies for Membership and Subscription Sites. So you can go ahead and read that. I'm going to dive in a bit, but I just want to touch on each of them. We also have the Paid Memberships Pro Membership Content Strategy. So we've actually put this out there, and we talk a little bit about what we are doing in our content marketing strategy to help build awareness for us, brand authority, and sales. So you can go ahead and read that and mimic our strategy for your membership site. And then we also have a getting started with content marketing on your membership or subscription site. So we have a getting started guide. We have our PM Pro strategy, and then we also have quality and quantity. So let me dive into this a little bit. I'm just going to nitpick from each blog post and talk a little bit about it. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. Click on the links below, and then you can do that in your own time. So quality and quantity when it comes to content marketing. This is very important. And a good friend of mine, Joe Casabona, once told me that you should always aim to do the best kind of quality you can do on a consistent basis. So that's like a little bit of a paradox. Like, obviously, we want to hear a thing of like, you should be publishing every day, or you should be publishing once a week, but it must be an amazing piece of content. So you need to, right off the bat, figure out what content schedule you can kind of keep up with, and usually tone it down a little bit. So say, for example, if you think I can create 2 videos a day for like something like what I am doing now, I believe that I can create 2 videos a day. I'm going to actually go ahead and tone that down to 1 video a day. So that's, just gives you a bit of an idea. It's very easy to overcommit yourself. And with content creation in general, it's often one of those things that you actually think it's going to take you less time than it actually does. There's a lot of sort of supporting tasks that go into creating content, stuff like making sure it's SEO friendly, making sure you have images right, adding alt tags to imagery, publishing, promoting, putting it out there on social media. All of those things you don't necessarily think about, that all add to actually creating good content on your site. So you want to make sure that you have a content schedule that you can keep up with and do it as well as possible. Now, one thing that we always talk about is get your content published. So, like we say here, in the early days, you should focus less on quality and more on publishing. And I agree with that as well. Work on your writing skills as you go, work on your video skills as you go. Don't wait for perfection. Publish, publish, publish. Now, this is controversial. A lot of people tell you different things. Some people like to go publish once a month, but it's like the most breathtaking piece of content ever. And that's great. But often it takes you a while to build up the education, the skills, the writing ability, video craftsmanship, whatever you want to call it, to actually get to that level of, breathtaking content creation. So in the beginning, publish stuff. Let it be rough. This video that you're watching right now is completely unscripted, and it is meant to be unscripted. If you watch some of our other videos where it is tutorial based, it's much more scripted, calculated, and worked out, and that gives a better kind of feel overall. But these are meant for you and I to connect on a more personal level so that you can understand me and understand what we're about, and I'm just talking through it. So this is an idea of, we would publish a handful of videos a month purely because it took a lot of time to publish them. But now I am able, because I'm going the unscripted route, live stream, I'm literally scratching my nose because I have a bit of an itch there and I can't help. I need to do it. So it's very raw in that way. But hopefully it gives you a sense of authenticity and a sense of, connection. That's what we're going for. Cool. So publish your content. Don't wait for perfection. And she also writes about acting now. So get started today with what you have. So if you have a iPhone and you want to start making videos, go ahead and actually start recording from your iPhone. It's not going to be great, but you will build up knowledge as you go, and you will build up gear and skills, and you will know what you need. Don't wait to get the best camera on the market and the best, say, this isn't even the best, but don't wait to get a microphone. Just start making stuff, and you'll often be surprised to how your customers, your users, and your followers will start engaging with you more for that. You can also look at creating different kinds of content, all kinds of content, as Ansi has written here. So look at blog posts, podcasting, publish video content, all of those things you can do. And again, also like we spoke about, be authentic. So as Ansi writes here, do not write about something you do not believe in yourself. Do not give advice you have not tested. If you do not know something, why ask your members for feedback, etc. So just kind of be a little bit more authentic with stuff. It's very tempting to write something because you hope and think it will land well with the search engine algorithms. And maybe you want to try that and see how it goes for you. But at the core of it, if you are authentic and you offer value to people, then that is the best kind of content you can create. And hopefully over time, as I think we said over here, focus on consistency. So play the long game. That's one thing to remember with content creation. You really want to play the long game. So a good strategy, what you might want to use is content marketing for your organic growth. And again, play the long game. So be consistent over time. You've got that. You don't have a lot of instant gratification with content creation unless you are a really huge company or a big influencer. But people like you and myself, we are going to have to just run the marathon, not the sprint kind of thing. So create your content, let it get, or sort of like, it's almost like seeds, right? So you're planting these content seeds and eventually they grow. And hopefully one day they're going to be a massive content tree that, bears a lot of good fruit. So play the long game. But that's not to say that you shouldn't also supplement other marketing strategies with your content creation, things that will give you maybe a little bit more instant gratification and allow you to promote your content quicker. So you can look at things like, advertising, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, things like that. We at this time don't do that very much. We have always been content marketing. We blog about our experience. We blog about what we know. We, in recent years, started video creation, webinars. That has always been at the forefront of our strategy. But I do know that, if you use paid advertising, that can be a huge way to leverage your content and get in front of your users. So that's a big one. Cool. So the paid memberships pro strategy, I touched on this briefly. Our strategy is basically three kinds of things, right? So we do documentation, and we try and do our documentation as well as possible. We are always trying to improve and better our docs. We do a lot of blog posting. Like, we blog about everything that we think will add value to the lives of our members. So that's a big one. And Jason and Kim have been blogging for I feel like it's a decade now that they've been blogging about their experience. And those blogs that they started, say, 10 years ago, has played a huge part into where we are as a company today. So you see how it can take almost a bit of like a long game. It could take several months or even years to really get traction. But if you start today and you start implementing content marketing in your strategy today, you're going to thank yourself tomorrow. It's that whole, I think it's a Chinese proverb of, 10 years ago was the best time to plant a tree. The next best time is right now. So that's the same true for content marketing. So Ansi talks a little bit here of the complexity of content and what our free content is, a little bit about our paid content. So I'd highly recommend you check this out, because we've got a strategy around free content as well as paid or premium content that any membership site owner will find useful. So that's a big one. And we talk a little bit about how we leverage social media. So another thing is, we on the daily create a very rough Travis's tip of the day. This is what you're watching now. And, we are leveraging social media to connect with people who want to hear about us. So another thing that's interesting, a little bit of a tip here for you, is that live streaming, what we have found is that it is a great tool to kind of open up the social media algorithm. So this is a theory. I haven't got, data to back this up. But what we have seen is we get a lot more engagement from people when we live stream. And what we have noticed is that it seems like social media is a little bit more forgiving on the algorithm side of things when live streaming, as more of our followers hear about it organically. So, it pops up a notification. Maybe you're watching this right now and you got notified like, hey, Travis or Paid Memberships Pros Live, Travis's tip of the day. But when we post a video on our social media marketing, we often don't get any feedback, if any, and that's usually because we think that the social media platforms actually want you to pay them in order to show your content. So another thing, how to leverage social media, you kind of have to play the social media game. So you can either go the pay to win method, or you can go ahead and try and leverage. If social media, you'll find, often comes up with new things. So Instagram, couple maybe months or maybe even a year and a half ago, came out with Instagram stories, and you notice that in the beginning of that's very flexible. Instagram doesn't lock down you need to pay in order to see stories. And you'll see big influencers, they really start using the features that the social media platforms give them initially, because it's kind of like an experimental time and the algorithms aren't as strict. So try and leverage your social media, especially when something new comes out. Try and adopt it quickly and try and see if you can use that to market your membership site. It's a big one. If live streaming at the moment seems to be a big one. And so that's why jump on the bandwagon and see how it works for you. Cool. So we also offer a variety of content. Content that improves the product and the people's lives of those who read it. Very good blog posts. So if you're just stepping in, content marketing is a big one for Paid Memberships Pro and membership sites in general. I'm going to wrap up now. In the link to this video, there should be 3 content marketing blog posts that Ansi wrote. We've got quality content versus quantity. We have the Paid Memberships Pro membership content strategy, and we have getting started with content marketing for your membership site. Check those out. We talk about monetizing your content, creating community, building your email list, which has been a big one for us. That's helped. Consider an affiliate program, connect memberships and e-commerce, etc. So there's a lot to go over in these blog posts. I highly recommend that you check them out. The links are in the description below, or if you go visit our blog on paidmembershipspro.com, you should see them. They are relatively close to the top because we publish them. There we go. There's 1, and there is 2, and there's the third one. So we recently published them, say last week or a week prior. Go check them out. Some really solid tidbits of information on how to get started with content marketing for your membership site. I hope you found that helpful. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have any questions about content marketing. I'd love to answer them and just get in touch with you on this topic. Cool. So with that being said, I'm going to close off this episode, Travis's tip of the day, episode number 32, and I'll be back to share another tip tomorrow.